few years, and particularly the past few months. Can I get an amen? E-commerce and switching to my shop. Goodbye ProPay, hello Stripe, up to 50% off. And now beauty consultants can earn 30% profit. I think we can all agree there's been a lot of change, and it can be exhausting. And speaking of exhausting, I know our Mary Kay corporate staff has been hard at work implementing these changes to help us grow strong businesses and help us lead those that we lead do the same. Let's show them some big Mary Kay love with a big round of applause for all their hard work, long hours, and late nights. Oh, we're so grateful. And while we're at it, how about a big round of applause for us? Oh my gosh, right? We continue to step up to these new challenges so we can figure out how to continue to build our business and make our dreams come true. Yay us, right? Because change is uncomfortable and it takes us out of our comfort zone. And our first response is usually anxiety followed by confusion. We can feel sad, frustrated. We can definitely doubt ourselves and whether we can even figure out the changes. And we can even feel downright fearful. Why do things need to change? We want things back as they used to be. It's our safe place. We know how to make it work. We've got it figured out. We're comfortable doing business the way that we always have, right? I'm sure so many of us have had these moments of frustration. We just need to remind ourselves to take a deep breath in and exhale all that anxiety. In those moments, I do my best to remember Philippians 4:6. Paul tells us not to worry about anything, but to pray about everything. And when you feel overwhelmed in the midst of trying to figure out how to implement the new changes, pray. Ask God to give you his peace. Ask for his wisdom and his discernment on how to navigate these changes. He's got you. Trust the process. And think about all of the national sales directors who went ahead of us in the prior 63 years, and they figured out so many moments of uncomfortable change. Honestly, we are where we are today because in time, they figured it out, just like us. We're figuring it out. So let me just take a quick minute to remind you who you are. Let me remind you of who we are, okay? Join me in looking back over the years in Mary Kay. I can go back 33 years with you, okay? There have been so many changes that we've had to navigate over the years. Skincare formula changes from the classic basic to a new miracle set to a 3D miracle set and then back to a miracle set, right? The repair kit, velocity skincare, botanical skincare, actually several botanical skincare sets, right? And then even the naturally skincare line, lots of at-play color, do you remember that? Yeah. To lots of chroma fusion to very limited color, right? Selling vitamins, selling out of a gift catalog, many different starter kit bags, no In Touch, desktop office manager, and now another new updated In Touch. No personal websites, personal Mary Kay websites, to now having our own My Shop. Tons of samples, limited samples, ProPay, Stripe, Star Consultant posters, online Star catalogs, $36,000 for national retail, national quarter sales to $40,000, and now to $45,000. Sales director suits, sales director jackets, calling in our orders to ordering online via Mary Kay In Touch, and now on to e-commerce. Mary Kay date books, no date books, perfect starts, power starts, parties, skincare classes, beauty sessions, right? 4 seminar divisions to 5 and now to 3. Awards night and a royalty reception to an award show in the afternoon. Seminar in Dallas, seminar on the road. And don't even get me started on our COVID years, right? All of a sudden, There was no more working face-to-face, but we had to figure out how to work virtually. Zoom parties, Facebook parties, StreamYard, ring lights, Zoom meetings, virtual star parties, parties with samples, parties without samples, sending lots of samples, sending only skincare samples, Skin Analyzer app, 5 and 15s, pirate ship, virtual guest events. Oh, I'm exhausted. The list goes on and on. Change is our middle name. Just call me Karen Change Riddle, and you can say the same about you. We've got this. It's in our Mary Kay DNA. Consider for a minute our own Mary Kay Ash and all the changes she had to navigate over all the years. From opening a storefront in Dallas when no one even knew what Mary Kay was, selling Mary Kay skincare and wigs, and then no wigs, having a few foundation colors, then day radiance in more colors, then liquid foundations in lots of shades, selling lipsticks and palettes with a lip brush, and then changing to lipsticks and tubes, the horror, right? Expanding our company outside of Texas, opening international markets, closing some of those international markets, developing new systems and promotions as our company quickly grew, golden goblets, star consultant, learning how to grow with rapidly changing technology. Mary Kay Ash even learned how to email. And then eventually the creation of InTouch and doing business online, creating the Cadillac program, and ultimately developing the car program, career path changes, commission structure changes, going private, going back to public, and so many more changes that we will probably never even know about. And I can guarantee you, she probably didn't love all the changes. She probably felt very stretched at times as she figured out new normals. But she knew it was a part of growth for the company and for herself as the leader of our company. She navigated lots of change with excellence and a desire to get better. I remember when I was little and I would wake up in the middle of the night with aching legs. My mom would call them growing pains. Did you ever have them? Okay, maybe it was just me. All right. Well, girlfriends, that's what we're having now. We're having growing pains. Change is a part of life. And for entrepreneurs and leaders, it's a consistent part of our journey. In order for us to grow as leaders and as a company, growth must happen. So we're all having growing pains, but they will subside as we learn new normals and we continue to grow our business and get better. Things are always going to change. That's the one thing we can count on. Change is constant. Some changes work, some don't. But the one thing I can promise you about change is that we will always have to deal with it. A great verse that we often see for the new year is Isaiah 43:18-19. Let's break it down together and see how it would help us to navigate change. It says, "Do not remember the former things or ponder the things of the past." Okay, pause for a moment. Often we get so hung up on how it used to be and what we used to do that we get stuck. We can marinate in what the past used to look like. So stop pondering the past and move forward into the new. We can easily get weary and discouraged and stuck when we only focus on what used to be. Okay, the verse goes on. It says, "Listen carefully. I am about to do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Will you not be aware of it?" Okay, it's time to be aware of not only the change, but getting on board with it. Most of the time, the change is honestly out of our control. There's not much we can do about it. So we need to be aware of the change and figure out how to get on board with it so we can continue to build strong businesses. Okay, now this is my favorite part of the verse. It says, I will even put a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. You see, God will show us his way through the new. Picture what he's saying. He will put a road in the wilderness and a river in the desert. Y'all, it won't make sense, but he will make a way for us to step into the new. Wow. Absolutely. He will give us understanding. He will open doors to us that we weren't even expecting. He helps us navigate the new. I just love this. God is always doing a new thing. Our part is to step out of our comfort zone in faith and embrace the new that we find in front of us. Remember, even though most changes surprise us, they never surprise God. He will show you how to walk into the changes by giving you his wisdom and discernment. I believe that change is even more overwhelming when we aren't quite sure of how to navigate it ourselves, and then we also have to lead our people through it, right? It's a lot. We are the leader to our people, and we set the atmosphere in our unit and our areas. John Maxwell says that a leader is a thermostat, not a thermometer. Let's think about that for a minute. A thermometer reflects the temperature of the room, but a thermostat sets the temperature of the room. That's our job. We're the leaders, and we set the temperature with our words as we figure out the changes. I mentioned earlier that change often makes you feel uncertain and very challenged or nervous, and that's how our beauty consultants often feel. So our job as Salesforce leaders is to guard ourselves from feeling the emotion and talking badly about the change, and instead give beauty consultants hope and belief that we can do this. Right? I think it's so important that we don't function as a consultant's friend, but that we rise up as their leader and we give them the encouragement, the belief, and the strategies they need so they feel confident about figuring out the changes. You know, I remember in the early days of COVID feeling very overwhelmed because everything changed so fast. It was definitely out of our control, and we had to figure it out quickly. The entire landscape of our business changed overnight. Everything that was normal no longer was an option. And honestly, I remember feeling scared and overwhelmed. Well, National Sales Director Dawn Otten-Sweeney was hosting an early Saturday morning Zoom for leaders, and I had been attending these sessions. I showed up one Saturday in the very early days of COVID and listened as she shared her belief in us, and then she unpacked a strategy that honestly gave me hope and even excitement. And I'll never forget that moment. After the Zoom was over, Chuck and I went for a walk in our neighborhood, and I excitedly shared a strategy that I was excited to implement to create community for my unit and forming national area. It was a game changer moment for me. I